Hello, my name is Kixon Cusick, and this is my presentation about the Sumatran orangutan, otherwise known as Pongo abeli. Introduction. The Pongo abeli, or Sumatran orangutan, is one of the three orangutan species on this planet. Orangutans are very well known. They are highlighted by their orange fur and incredible intelligence. They're part of the great ape family and are only found spread across Indonesia. The Sumatran orangutan only exists in northern Sumatra in very small isolated regions. All Sumatran orangutan communities are within 300 kilometers of each other. Their numbers have been steadily decreasing since human interaction began in Indonesia, especially logging and farming. Population. There are currently over 13,000 estimated individuals. The population count is difficult to determine due to a number of factors. These factors include a range of altitudes at which they live, mountain ranges and rivers, which make accessing areas in which they live difficult, and their nomadic lifestyle, which means that population centers change and the amount of individuals in certain areas fluctuates day to day. As I mentioned before, almost all populations are within a couple hundred kilometers of each other. If a disaster were to occur in this area, most of the world's population of Sumatran orangutans could be taken out. To avoid this, alternate populations have been established in central Indonesia. In the top right of the screen, you can see a globe highlighting where Indonesia is on the world map. The larger image shows Indonesia not as a whole, but instead just northern Sumatra. The green highlighted areas show the forests in which the Sumatran orangutan lives, and the orange represents the peat or the swamps in which they live. Currently, 75.6% of the current population lives in protected forests. That means the remaining percent lives in protected forests or places that are not protected, meaning that they are open to logging and to other environmental destruction. Behavioral. As I said before, the Sumatran orangutan displays an impressive level of intelligence. This intelligence, coupled with their nature to pack together in groups, causes them to have highly developed social behaviors. They are arboreal nomadic omnivores, meaning that they are tree living, both herbivore and carnivore, and move around from place to place. Their nomadic tendencies are driven by their need for food and their want to avoid predators. They're one of the few animals that can use tools. Their tool use is especially developed in the animal kingdom, considering that they have used tools not only for simple food collection, but also for back scratching or protection from the rain, behaviors that we wouldn't consider in animals. They have a very slow reproduction rate. They have kids every 6 to 7 to 8 years, which is a quite long time, considering the lifespan is only around 40 years. Because of this, they keep closely knitted communities and stay in connection with their young far, far after they have finished raising them. Community. Because of their high intelligence, as I mentioned before, they have incredible social networks. They have basic oral communication as well as emotional and facial communication. Even ones in captivity have developed the ability to communicate with sign language. But this has only been shown between human and orangutan, never between orangutan and orangutan. Because of the low reproduction rate, as I mentioned, these maternal bonds are extremely strong and long lasting. Mothers will even teach their daughters how to raise their own children once they have children. Information is shared throughout the community, such as tool use or whether or not a certain area is dangerous. Ecosystem impacts. Positive. Orangutans are a keystone species in almost every ecosystem they inhabit. They fill a niche of seed spreader. They eat many different kinds of fruits and move around constantly. Therefore, they're the perfect candidate for making sure that there is plant diversity throughout every rainforest. The negatives: increased logging in all of their habitats reduces their population significantly. Even small amounts of trees being cut down near or around their population centers can cause them great harm, as they need great diversity in plant and climbing to sustain their population. The low reproduction rate makes this issue especially bad. Sometimes their starvation can even lead them to trespass into human land and steal from crops, causing even more issues with farmers. And here are my references. Thank you very much for listening.